Hello, so you guys are supposed to read a novel and you're going to be doing it over 5 weeks throughout the semester. There are 4 that you can choose from, roughly 40-45 pages a week you're going to read. I have 2 more that are a little bit longer than that, so if you're a strong reader or you really like to read, you can choose the 2 longer ones, but you don't have to. So the 4 that you can choose from, the first one is called Perfect Storm. It's actually nonfiction, meaning it's detailed events of the perfect storm that happened in 1991 off the coast of Maine. So this reporter went, gathered all the details, comprised the story of what actually went down in the ocean. The second novel is Red Sky at Morning. It takes place during World War II. A boy's dad, he's a senior in high school, his dad gets enlisted in the Navy, so he goes off to war. The boy and the mom move to New Mexico while the dad's off at war. So he goes from a southern town in Georgia, I believe, nope, Alabama, and has to live in New Mexico. So he has to deal with discrimination, segregation. His mom becomes an alcoholic, so he has to take care of his mom, a lot of family dysfunction. This novel is a little bit mature in content with some of the language and the topics that they cover. So I just want to caution you on that if you choose that one. The third novel is called The Bean Trees. It's about a girl, she just graduated high school, she lives in some small town in Kentucky, and she's like, I'm out. So she travels across the United States and ends up in Arizona. And on her way, she acquires a baby. I'm not going to tell you how that happens. And so it's about her becoming an adult, dealing with being an instant mom, having to learn about a whole different world from where she grew up in, and staying true to herself. The next novel is Ethan Frome. It's the shortest of all of them, but it's the highest level of reading. There's a lot of inferences. You have to put the puzzle pieces together. It's a love triangle gone bad, and there's no happy ending. So some people choose it because it's shorter, but it is a more difficult read. So it kind of depends where you're at with that. And what's the last one? The 2 that are longer are Sinister Pig. It is a murder mystery novel that takes place in southern Arizona on the border. It has to deal with drug smuggling and some murders, and there's 2 plots that kind of twist and come together at the end to solve the mystery. And then the last one is called Last of the Breed by LAmour. So it's a Navy pilot. He is shot down over Russia and captured by the Russians. So he has to survive being captured, and then he has to survive the winter once he escapes. Then he has to survive being hunted by a native of Russia, and then he has to figure out how he can seek revenge. So it is quite lengthy, but it's high action, well written. It reads pretty easily. So Red Sky at Morning, Bean Trees, Ethan Frome, Perfect Storm. The extras are Sinister Pig and Last of the Breed. So you can Google those and get a more descriptive answer or explanation of the book. However, they're all long, so you just have to deal with that. You will get questions to answer. The question packets are for your understanding, reading comprehension. You'll get a grade for them. It's not a significant grade for them, but it will prepare you for the quizzes and tests that you'll have to take on the book. So I recommend doing the questions so that I know that you're on track with what's going on. If you don't do the questions, then I have no evidence that you're ready for the quizzes and tests. So then I'm not sure that we can give you the quizzes and tests without having done that. What else do you need to know about these? 40-45 pages a week. I recommend breaking it down like 10 pages, 4 days in a row, getting it done with. Some people like to sit down and do the whole reading at once, so it kind of depends on your learning style. Okay, so decide what you want to read, email it to me, stop by the lab, pick up your book and your questions from Miss Butler, and get started on your novel project.